लाइव लोग नहीं प्रेफर करते बहुत करते हैं, मैम और आप एग्री हो, मैं भी एग्री हो गया
कुछ गलती तो लाइक थोड़ा बहुत मिस्टेक ही तो होगा.
नहीं वो तो
That's
ठीक
fine,
है,
that's
एटलीस्ट
fine.
आप उनकी वजह से हम लोग लर्न कर रहे हैं, हो रहा हो तो है ठीक है, नहीं स्टार्ट करते हैं लाइव चैनल या कमेंट करके ट्राई कर रहे हैं.
Yes, sir. स्टार्ट हो रहे ना, चैटिंग भी स्टार्ट 1 सेकंड रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट कर दें.
So sorry for the small interruption guys, as there was some technical glitch due to which the comment section was not on. Now you all can comment and do chatting also on our live channel. Thank you. So next question for you, Nishi madam. Just to brief you all before we go ahead, because there was a technical glitch. We are doing a podcast today with a 4th year student Jasmine and the India head Nishi madam of Toronto Metropolitan University. And we have discussed some questions already, which you can watch later on when the podcast will be uploaded. So thank you for all the patience guys. So ma'am, the next question is, what type of programs does TMU offer?
So TMU ideally has an array of programs ranging from aerospace engineering, architectural sciences, nursing, which very few universities offer as a 4-year degree. We have that. We also have business management, computer science, and fashion as a 4-year degree. So Toronto is the fashion capital. So we have all the programs tailor-made as per the market demand, and plus it is as per students' interest as well. So that's what TMU brings to the university, to the students.
Okay, so as you said, the nursing 4-year degree, is there any pre-exam that a person has to clear to come into your nursing program?
Nursing is a competitive program for us for sure, but we just need mathematics and biology and one of physics, chemistry, or biology, combinations. That's all. Otherwise, nothing is required. You will require a higher percentage for sure, because as I told, it's pretty competitive, but we have seats for international students.
And what goes when we talk about aeronautical and architecture? Because that are been a very competitive programs, and in India also it's in high demand.
Yes.
So if somebody choose to go abroad for the same program,
Yeah.
so what are the hurdles that he have to face when he comes to your university?
Luckily, Canada has been pretty easy about admissions. If I talk about subjects and even about percentage requirement, so if a student is from science background with mathematics, so they will be able to, they can apply for our university programs, be it aerospace or be it architecture. But for architecture, they will be requiring to have a portfolio requirement and a few other requirements too, because we have two categories. First is a grades plus program. Second is the grades only. So grades plus is a program where you will require additional documents, additional things that will add on to your profile. It can be something like an SOP, like a portfolio, or a few other things too, right? However, grades only program is a program where only merit is considered. So architectural sciences is totally a grades plus program. You need a portfolio for that. But aerospace engineering or something like comp engineering, that will require just your grades.
So this typically covers my next question, like if somebody is applying to TMU, what he should be focusing on, TMU academic profile or both? But still, if you want to add on something, you can.
The thing is that be very much cautious about what documents you're uploading and how you're uploading, because we have a very strict portfolio requirement which is very easily mentioned on the website. So just keep a check on that and meet the deadlines properly. There's a form that we have called supplementary form which says optional, but if I were a student, I would leave no stone unturned to get my seat in TMU. So if you are applying to TMU, make sure all your documentation is completed, your form is completed, and keep a check on your My Service Hub, My Communications tab. In this tab, you will get all the communications, be it your offer letter, be it if they ask for any documentation or if they ask for any IELTS score.
Okay. So what are the common mistakes that you see normally students making?
Basically, sometimes what I face is that, ma'am, I missed the scholarship deadline. Now what can I do? But TMU is very, we have a standardized process of our scholarship applications and everything. We make sure students know things beforehand. So in Canada and with TMU specifically, our applications start roughly between, before 10 or 9 months of the date of commencement of the program. So that's when we ask students to put their conditional application, because eventually they will have their boards, they'll start preparing for that, so then they'll get busy and then they'll pass the deadline as well. So we have our deadline, which is called the equal consideration deadline, which is on 1st of February, in which all the applications will be considered no matter when you apply before 1st of February. But if you apply later than that, then it will be dependent on like if we have seats available or not, or it will be on first come first serve basis. So if you want to get considered in time, you have to apply before the deadline with your documentation. But we accept students without IELTS scorecard as well. Eventually you can upload it for sure and meet your conditions.
Okay. So next question goes to you, Jasmine. You have been studying in India and then you went abroad to study in TMU. What are the basic things that you have seen in terms of teaching style? And if there was a difference in teaching style, how hard or easy was it for you to adapt to the teaching style of TMU?
Right. I would say any sort of change is hard at the beginning, and then you have to put in effort. But there is extensive support available. So I think the way it is different is in India, they teach you to make sure that you understand it perfectly, and everybody at different levels of difficulty. Like if somebody is a beginner, medium, intermediate, they all understand. But in university there, everybody's at the same level. So if you don't have a strong foundation, you may have some challenges. But let's say it's a math class, it's a stats class or a science class, they have group tutoring sessions available in the university and peer-to-peer sessions which are offered by the library and other departments at the university. They really help you understand concepts. Like let's say if you go from India, I didn't know how to use a scientific calculator or a statistics calculator, right? They taught me how to even use a calculator. So things like that, they will help you with that, but you have to put in the effort. That's the one thing that's different there.
And second thing, like what was challenging when you went from here to Canada? Was it really challenging while you were studying? And how much the academic support you got it? Just say if it was challenging. For me, because it was challenging. When I went to UK, it was very challenging for me.
Right.
The new concept was writing thesis and all those stuff, which I was never used to. I was used to just rectification.
Right.
So if it was challenging, how does the academic staff has supported you?
Right, you're absolutely right. These theses, you have to give a statement, citations, all of
A lot of
those things.
things.
It was challenging, right? I was always
And
doubtful.
citation is very challenging, to be honest.
Absolutely.
We have to put a lot of efforts to understand that. Nowadays, it's become easy because of AI.
Exactly.
My days were very tough. So,
Right.
but how is it with you now?
Yeah, no, I think it's still tough. Like if you make a mistake in citation, you can lose marks or they can penalize you. So what support they offer is that they have people at the library that teach you how to do these citations properly, depending the kind of paper you're writing. So there's support for that, right? You can go to them, get it reviewed once, twice, then understand how you do it. But then eventually they expect you to learn and do these things on your own. So like obviously there's always support available, but they want you to be self-sufficient over time. That's the other thing. And as I said previously, tutoring is still available. Let's say it's not a citation course like stats, right? Stats is still hard. They will really make sure there is specific tutoring available for that course as well. So it covers both sort of aspects of support there.
So, like as we all know that in India, the biggest market is for MBA, business management, BA honors business management.
Right.
So, how was your experience with business management?
I think it's been a great experience. I have learned so much, and as I said from the beginning, like the experiential learning opportunities, they have really made me enjoy my time there. I like to study in the sense that there's competitions. I love presenting solutions to companies. You get to meet partners. Like in my first year, I met the partner of Microsoft once, right? And I met a director at Microsoft, and I met all of these different people. I've connected with them, so it helps you become strong professionally. And then there are other things like they have a career coach which will guide you just to make resumes and cover letters, and another course I'll tell you what courses you should take to prepare yourself academically. So all of these things combined, I've had a great experience. In fact, they also allow you to host competitions and conferences over time as well. So the experience has been great, and I've done co-ops as well where I've met people and made actual impact in companies at an early age. So I'm very happy, grateful for that by God's grace.
So it basically makes you more industry ready. When you go out, you are
Absolutely.
kind of ready for a job.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So you're not dependent on a placement like in India. Every second person is dependent on a placement,
Right.
campus placement.
Right. If I may add, what we do is like once we have a placement, we're only placed at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
But what happens after the first placement? You have to find the job
You have to do
eventually.
the job on your
So when you
skill.
learn to get it from the beginning, then you get used to it. That's the thing.
काबिल बनने के लिए पढ़ो, कामयाब बनने
बिल्कुल सर.
So can you give a realistic idea of monthly expenses as a student? Look, this is very important for a parent. If I'm just blessed with a baby girl and I have two
Right.
kids, so I have to start preparing from now onwards for their academic journey or education journey, and I'm looking for the policies. Which policy would be best when she is 16 or when she is 18?
Right.
So it's a very hard and money of all the parents when they send the student abroad. So what is the actually realistic monthly expense you have experienced?
Absolutely. Firstly, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
And secondly, in terms of expenses, right? I think for living, right, just the room wherever you live. If you live in downtown Toronto, on average, you should expect at least from 1100 to 1200. And let me just take the upper ranges, and I'll give you the total monthly. 1100 to 1200 for rent. For food, it should be 300 to 350. And then for other bills, let's take $100 and then take $200 more for entertainment, right? So it's 1200, 350, 1550, 100, 1650 plus 200 more, which is 1850
1850.
on average. But this is like an average life. If you live a slightly larger than average life, it will be more than that. But I would say this is what you need at least at a very
If you live like Yash Raj movies like that.
Yeah.
So their school is always larger than life. Their
Yeah.
colleges are always larger
Very
than life.
vibrant.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if I'll ask you a very important question that every second student and parent wants to have, like part-time jobs.
Right.
Are they actually available? Number one. And if they are available, will you be able to manage it alongside with your studies? Because sometimes it's become very hard to manage it with your studies.
Right, absolutely. I'll be honest and say that any new thing might be slightly challenging at the beginning, but once you get used to it, it's not really that hard. I've always done a part-time job when I'm studying, and I've like God's grace also getting good grades. Grades don't go down, but you have to work for it. So jobs are definitely there.
Okay.
Depends on what you want, and I have tried out different things as well. In fact, I used to be a barista at one point, but now I work on campus. I started working in the housing department as well, and there's other departments. So once you come to any university, if you can find an on-campus job there, that's the best thing. But even if you don't, that's completely fine. There's still different kinds of jobs outside which you might not even have thought about at any point in life, and you might enjoy them as well.
So to be honest, you have cleared one of the misconceptions. This is one of the misconceptions that still crowd has, that there are no more jobs in Canada. So, but what are the other misconceptions do you think that the Indian student right now have, which are looking forward to study in Canada?
I think misconception may be safety.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
not-
that is true.
safety is a
Safety.
misconception.
Safety is a big concern right now with the Indian students.
Right. Because see, at the end of the day, we see in news this happen, that happen here and there, and we get concerned. And my mom does as well. But I really think it's safe there because I go out there and not a lot of things happen. The only thing that the best thing that the university offers, and a lot of universities do, is we have this thing called like an app for immediately calling and alerting security. We have an app. We have booths on campus, and we have a walk safe program. So let's say one of my friends, right? Let's say she's a girl. She's done her shift late at night at 11 p.m. and she wants to go home. We have security guards available at the university who will walk with her to the closest subway station. And I think that's the best thing. So we have all sort of support available. Every university, like if you work on campus, every office has a panic button as well. Not that we ever need it, but like everything is there in terms of your safety, and they have different resources to manage it as well. And we get alerts as well. If even a light goes out, I get an email on my phone that a light is gone out.
Okay, so it's like 911 kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Okay, because look, the thing is like this is happening internationally, not just in Canada. A few days ago, I've heard in a newspaper something happened in Australia. The shooting
Right.
has been. So
Right.
look, these are the circumstances which no one can avoid.
True.
But generally, it's a safe country.
Generally
as well.
speaking, absolutely.
Okay. So next question is: was it easy to find accommodation? And what will be the advice from your side for all the students who are coming from India to Canada in terms of accommodation? Because there was a lot of hue and cry last year when it comes to accommodation,
Right.
finding an accommodation in India, and it was all there in the newspapers and the
Right.
media, and it was in the Parliament of Canada also. This has been raised. So,
Right.
what is the reality behind it?
I would-
student.
Right. I think it is certainly possible. It is slightly challenging. I will not understate that. But there is again resource and support available on that as well. So in our university, the housing office has this department called off-campus housing, and that department is purely dedicated to help you avoid scams when looking for a place, and basically look at what sort of place I need, what clause should be there in the lease. So obviously, when you do it on your own, you will probably make some mistakes. So it's good to reach out to these departments for support, so you can ensure that nobody, there's no challenges in sort of the place you're finding. But as I said, if people are fine with the monthly expense, then it's not a huge problem, because you do have to pay the first and last month's rent upfront. So people just have to be ready with that, which is just the law in the country.
Okay. So just adding on to this, as the expenses keep on, we have been keep on asking about the expenses. What is the TMU fees, and is there any scholarship? Because this is the maximum expense which a person has to
Yes, thank you for asking that. So, TMU roughly, like I'm giving an approximate here. So it has a range of $35,000 to $42,000 depending on the program and the structure. Secondly, about scholarship. So for fall 26 intake, which is live right now, so we are having 2 scholarships for our international students. First is a President's Entrance Scholarship, which is of $40,000, and it has a subdivision of 10,000 each year, and it is renewable, of course, 10,000 each year. Second is the ICE Aerie Scholarship, and that has a total amount of $10,000, and you can apply for that. You can apply for both the scholarships, one of it depending on what you want, and yeah, you can try your luck.
So as you said that the scholarship has been renewable
Yeah.
every year. So were there any condition? Is there any condition for getting the scholarship renewed?
I guess it is, and because Jasmine is one of our students who has gotten the scholarship, so I would let him take this.
Right, so I'm actually fortunate to be a recipient of the President's Scholarship, which is the one I mentioned. And you have to basically have at least 3 courses every semester, which is like, a certain course load. In the fall and the winter, 3 is honestly not a lot, because I take 5 every year, and 5 is the average. So that is the criteria. And then for some scholarship, there is a CGPA criteria. You just have to see that. And then apart from that, it's only doing your course intentions, just letting the university know what courses you'll be taking in the next semester. That's all the basic criteria. But obviously it changes slightly from one scholarship to the other, but majorly this is the criteria.
So were there any cultural shock for you just when you went from India to Canada? Like for me it was. I asked for a burger.
Yeah.
And I thought it's going to be a vegetarian burger that normally happens in India. It's
Yeah.
going to be an aloo patty inside.
Right.
But it was beef. And I
Right.
ate it and I was like shocked because I'm a Brahmin. And
Right.
I was shocked like this doesn't smell like aloo patty at all. And I went back to him and I asked like, is it aloo patty? And
Yeah.
he smiled and said, no buddy, it's
Yeah.
beef
Beef,
burger.
yeah.
So is there any cultural shock you faced it?
I know. Even for me, food was the first one. I went to McDonald's and there was nothing vegetarian on the menu. I was like, I want a paneer tikka. I'm a big paneer, and I like paneer, so there was nothing
I
with paneer.
love paneer.
The good thing I can tell you now is actually one of the other chains, they have a special paneer burger, and a lot of other companies they're actually expanding their vegetarian choices now. But if you want vegetarian food, sometimes it does get a bit challenging. But if you search hard enough, there's other places. Like I found one place in downtown. They have the best cauliflower, gopi, like as a snack, and I thought I would never find it, but over time you do. So food was certainly one shop, and then maybe other things like it's not as hard and challenging as it seems, and people do support you. People support you. That was the one shock that nobody will support you when you're like competing with people, but no, like if you ask for help, they'll help you.
They,
So-
they say sorry and thank you quite often.
Yeah, that's the part
and
of the
they're very
culture.
polite,
Yeah.
which we are not very used to of because we live over here, but no. But over there, yeah, I also felt a lot of support when I was there, and amazing commutation. I went to the Niagara Falls through Go Bus and Go Train. Smooth, because that was our first travel to Canada, and I was with my colleague for sure, but still, we both of us were traveling the first time. So still things were very easy. We got our tickets done, we waited, we boarded the bus, and then we went for the Niagara Falls, explored a bit, we came back. So it is a very easygoing country. So I loved it.
Things are quite shortened. That I agree to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, look, a very difficult question. I don't think so. Like this will be a shock for anyone. You have been keep on talking about your mother. Your mother, you keep on talking about your mother. That she's concerned back home. She's this, she's that. So that shows how much you love her.
Yeah.
So how do you handle with that homesickness when you're sitting down there?
Right.
Do you feel anxiety about your mother, like how she have been in
Right.
India back? So
Right.
how do you handle that?
Right.
This homesickness thing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So obviously, when you go, you miss your family. It's a hard separation, and it's The answer is it's not like a tablet you can take to get over it in a day. No, that doesn't happen, unfortunately. I wish it did. But over time, what you do is you learn to find, connect with your own people. And that means, obviously you have an Indian Cultural Association, you have other people as well. Or maybe you find a sport or a hobby. Like for me, I picked up things there that I never thought I would do in my life. I play badminton now, I did boxing and other things as well. And I find happiness in them. And obviously, the other things you do is, sometimes you go to the Gurdwara and I go to the mandir with my friends. So when you go there, right, on occasions like Diwali or Gurpurab, you get a sense of, home there as well. And you know that when you go there, everything is still the same with your own people, right? So you grow in that one sense with your own people, and outside of that, you grow obviously in what Canada has to offer. So that helps you really get over homesickness. But, the best part is if I went 20 years ago, like I couldn't call my family now, but
Yeah,
I
now
can,
it's
right?
like, yeah,
What
it's
most kids like us do is we
Yeah.
learn to make, vegetables or things from our mom, and that helps us connect with the family
Yes,
a lot as well. So you connect as well when you, get distant from
This
your family.
makes you more mature human also. You got to see different cultures and you start respecting them. Like for the first time when I went abroad, it was like a lot of jokes for them were not jokes to me, and a lot of jokes of mine
Jokes to them.
doesn't meant anything to them. I
Yeah.
started learning when what kind of a joke do they like or what kind of
Yeah.
things there. So yeah, that's there. But homesickness is something which you are very right. Now there are WhatsApp call, video calls, and all those things are available, which makes things a lot easy. But when we talk about university, as you keep on mentioning, there is a career support you got it. So what is exactly do you mean by that?
Right.
How does they actually help you in terms of getting all these co-ops and all those stuff?
Right. So I'm in marketing. So I have a dedicated advisor who will just help for marketing. Somebody who's studying marketing. The first thing they'll do is they ask you to book a meeting with them. Obviously, I have to book the meeting. They will not do that for me. But when I book the meeting, they'll tell me, okay, ask me questions, probing questions. What do you want to do?
Sorry, I'll just stop you there.
Yeah.
What is co-ops? First of all,
Co-op, think of
before
co-op.
we move forward.
Absolutely, you're right. You're right. Sorry about that. Co-op is an internship. So an internship is basically you work at a company and you learn to do what they're doing, and you actually contribute to the company. So if let's say a company has a title called marketing analyst, you will probably be a marketing intern, and then you're really making impact there. And co-ops are always paid if it's through the university.
Okay.
I'll just add on a few more things here. So
Please.
co-op ideally is of 8 to 16 months of full-fledged internship. Students are getting paid when they work for this, and it is a part of their program. But by this, I do not mean that the university compromises on the years of their academic study. It is an add-on, and sometimes it is optional, sometimes it is mandatory, depending on the program. And you have to maintain a certain GPA requirement to be a part of co-op. And if you perform good, you have a high chance of getting hired before you graduate in the same co-op, company you're working in. So that's how it is.
So just say which is your next intake, madam?
So we have two intakes. We offer two intakes. We have first January intake and second is September intake. Back when we were used to know as Ryerson, we just used to have fall intake, which is a September intake. But now we have also launched and we are working with our winter intake.
So there is Jan intake is still available. Can students still apply, or they have to apply for a September intake now?
The train has left the station for January, but for September you have good time and you can apply for scholarships too. The deadline is 1st of February, and you can apply, put in your application, and you can reach out to me also for any
Yeah.
questions.
So like your main advice would be to all these students who is looking forward to apply into September
Mm.
is to be quick.
Yes, because
1st of February is
in Canada the process starts, as I mentioned, 9-10 months prior. So you have to be mentally prepared about the visa outcome deadlines too. You have to keep that buffer time with you. Otherwise, if you apply just before the intake, it will just not happen for you.
Jasmine, how confident are you when you come back to India and you get a job?
God's grace,
Mhm.
I believe I will be able to land a good job because I've already done internships and have relevant experience and things that I typically wouldn't do. Like I've done a marketing internship, then I was a product management intern, and now I'm going to be working at sort of the Paytm of Canada, like as a product
Okay.
intern as well. So after this, I think I have the skills, ability to talk, to land a good job, and also know how to apply to these companies as well.
So काबिल बनने हैं।
भगवान ने बनाया है.
नहीं, that
मेहनत
God
ने
is
बनाया है।
मेहनत से बनाया, फिर God is a way.
Absolutely.
God is always a way,
Yeah.
and we all are messengers sitting down here trying to help each other
Right.
in terms of आपको भी किसी ने किसी समय help करी होगी to go into Canada and
Right.
stuff like this. So Abhi, before we going into, because we are moving towards the end of the show, so before we end and finish of the show, we need one piece of advice from her towards the student and one piece of advice from you to the student who are looking forward to apply in the upcoming intake. But I'll do a small rapid fire. This is a new thing I'm trying to introduce today. I don't know how our audience will like it, but if they like it, we'll continue with it. And it's very small. It's just 3-4 quick questions to you.
Right.
One thing you love most about studying here.
Opportunities.
One thing that surprised you the most.
Not as cold.
Oh, sorry.
Not as cold.
Acha, acha, not as
Not
cold.
as cold.
Okay,
It's
okay.
not chilly. Okay,
But
that's a
because-
myth.
Yeah, because we all used to think it's minus 40 degree or minus 35 degree.
Yeah, so I mean Canada has all the seasons, but cold is the most beautiful season. Like the winters is the most beautiful, extremely.
And summers are lovely.
Sorry for just jumping in your rapid fire.
One tip you would give to incoming Indian students.
Try different things. Stay true to your culture. But put yourself out there and challenge it.
Okay. And one extracurricular activity that you do the most?
Badminton.
I love it. That's great. And you said you do boxing also.
Recently started, yes.
Yeah, so we have to be away from you. If you have something nonsense, it's not easy to do.
He'll punch.
Yeah. So, madam, coming back to you,
Yeah.
what would you like the parents watching this to take away from this conversation? We have a good conversation of about an hour. What from your side you still think that would be a takeaway for parents from this? That parents should more focus on.
Perfect. So I understand that parents will have a lot of inhibitions, okay, their own set of worries, their fears about sending their child abroad, but they have to trust the reality of Canada. And the reason why we are doing this live podcast is to bring transparency, because I can talk for hours about how good the university is, although I have been to the country also, but still when a student comes up to you and say, this happened with me, so that brings more sense to the student who is choosing Canada or not choosing Canada. So we want them to trust the reality, and also to kind of not just listen things or check reels. You have to be very much focused on where you are getting your information, because that will decide your child's career. And Canada has throughout been a rewarding destination, not only in terms of immigration but also in terms of exposure and with opportunities like just been mentioned. So just trust on that, and if you need any help, you can reach out to the respective regional heads, and we will be helping you out.
One piece of advice from my side before we take a piece of advice from them. Stop believing reels. Please stop believing reels. These are just there to get attention from you, get their likes, get their views so that they can earn money. And as we all know that negative travel faster than the positive. So please, 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 before believing any reel, clarify what's behind, the motive behind the making the video. Thank you, ma'am, for the transparency thing. I thought that message should go on to the student. So, and one piece of advice for each student now. This would be your camera.
Okay. For students, please don't, I would suggest you to work smart than working hard, okay? And just be focused. Don't take too much burden right now. I understand boards are coming up, but just believe in yourself and you can do wonders. Even if you don't go to Canada, you can still do wonders because you are an amazing, amazing kid of your parents. So trust on that. And any help with TMU, with Canada, we are there to help you out. We have just one amazing and very, celebrity-like alumni here. So he will be also helping you out. And yeah, just work on yourself. Keep your eyes down, head down, and just work on yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the advice. And just when you being the ambassador for TMU today here for all of us, but it's actually good you came here, and I would like to say sincerely thanks to you, because a lot of a student wants to hear a student, because that's what make it a realistic conversation, a complete transparent conversation. So now these students are waiting for you for a clear advice.
Right. I would say when you are done with your boards, think about what program you want to do at TMU, plan it, and when you come here, talk to the people here, the advisors mentioned, and then really think about where you want to take your life, and then you'll have a great experience.
Thank you. Thanks both of you for coming in here and making my show as good as it is. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And one piece of advice for all of you who are preparing for your board exam: don't get demotivated. Be confident. We have started a campaign, Say No to Suicide, and we are always available for you. We have a helpline number to call you anytime you feel depressed. Thank you.
Come on, cheer on.
Live
We started
Live
with a lot
fun
of
with it.
hiccups.